Yeah.
My name is Tina, and I am here to talk to you today about why it's important to keep your crystals and minerals and tektites cleansed, cleared, and highly vibrationable. So let's get into it. One of my very favorite crystals to work with for keeping the energy transmuted from negative energy into a positive vibration is Smoky Quartz. And the thing about Smoky Quartz is it does absorb the negative energy. And so you are going to want to be conscientious about keeping the energy cleared from your Smoky Quartz. A lot of the darker crystals do absorb a lot more of the negative energy than, say, clear quartz or selenite, which never absorbs any energy. It just always radiates light. But your crystals such as Smoky Quartz, black obsidian, those are all going to need to be cleansed and charged. And what do I mean by cleansing your crystals? So there are several ways you can cleanse a crystal. One of my very favorites is with water. And not just any water, but I love using salt water. This is actually salt water that I bottled up from the beach whenever I was in Hawaii. And so this is very special water and I use it very sparingly. But one kind of cool trick that I have for using this water is I pour a little bit into a singing bowl, a quartz singing bowl. And so you can, I'll come and kind of demonstrate here. All right, so you're gonna pour a little bit of water into your singing bowl. And then say you have your clear quartz points or something like that. You can also use your smoky quartz points or really any kind of crystal that you're needing to cleanse and you want to charge it at the same time. So you can actually put your crystals in here with the water and then you can play your singing bowl. And so you're not only cleansing, but you're also charging those crystals at the same time. So this is going to actually be tuned to the throat chakra. And so you're going to want to create a grid, maybe with some blue crystals that are going to help open up your throat chakra. So these clear quartz points are now ready to use. And if you really want to add something even more special, you can actually put those out in the sun. Once you get them out of the water, put them in the sun, and then they have all the beautiful energy from the sun as well. Another way that you can, if you don't go to the ocean and you can't bottle up a little bit of water, you can go to Amazon and you can buy yourself a huge bag of salt. I love Himalayan sea salt. And I also love Epsom salt, and you can also get black salt from Hawaii, from the volcano. So depending on your crystal, you can use 1, 2, or 3 different salts. I like to kind of pick and choose depending on the color of my crystal that I'm working with and also what I'm trying to accomplish. If it's Smoky Quartz, I like to put just a little dab of the black Hawaiian volcanic salt in there because it does add a little bit of layer of protection to this crystal. Not that it needs a lot of protection, but it helps. Every little bit helps. Okay, so another way to cleanse your crystals. Some people like to bury their crystals in the dirt. I'm not a big fan of that. 1, you get your crystals really dirty, and 2, it feels like I have to cleanse them again after I put them in the dirt, just because, I don't know, it's just my personal preference. Everybody has one. So what you can do instead is you can take a mesh bag. that you would put maybe your jewelry in. And you can put a crystal. This one's actually too big for your mesh bag. You can put a crystal. This is going to be a cream moonstone. And you can put that into your mesh bag like so. And then I make my own floral blend, and it has a little bit more than that in there. There's all kinds of different flowers. There's some different herbs. But essentially what I do is I open the bag up like this, and then I'm going to put my blend right on top. You can also put this in a bowl. Another excellent way to do it is actually putting it in a selenite bowl if you have a smaller crystal. Let's use this piece of turquoise here. So same idea. If you have another bowl, something like this, you can always just fill it up with your blend. Some people call it incense, but it's a little thick. So put it in there, leave it overnight. See, it's going to look like this, and then you leave it overnight, and that's going to be just as good as burying it in the ground. So that's another idea for how to cleanse your crystal. And then speaking of selenite, selenite is going to be just divine white light that never needs to be cleared or charged. So a lot of people like cleansing their crystals with selenite. So this is a beautiful piece of selenite. And what you can do is you can take your crystal and you can set it right on top of your selenite, and you can leave it like this overnight. And then your crystal is going to not only be cleansed by the selenite, but it's also going to be charged. And so you're going to have this just pure, beautiful, high vibration coming off of your crystal. Another thing that you can do is you can light sage. And once we light the sage, if I can find my lighter, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to find my lighter, so I'm going to use what I have on hand, which is my candle. It's the next best thing to a lighter. So we're going to just use the flame from the candle here, and we're gonna light the sage on fire. And look at that beautiful smoke. So a lot of people say that sage smoke feels like a hug. It's just warm and inviting. And what you can do is you can actually take your crystal and you can just run it underneath, all around your crystal. And that smoke from the sage is going to cleanse your crystal. So those are all of the ways that I love to cleanse my crystals. But now let's talk about charging your crystals. So a lot of crystals love essential oils. They love oil blends. Some people are scared to put oil on their crystals, and there's some that you shouldn't. If it's a polished crystal like this, you're not going to want to put a whole lot of oil on it because it's already very shiny, right? So there's no need to put a whole lot of oil on that. But one thing that I do like to do is take crystals such as this guy here, this sphalerite skull. So you can put a little bit of oil on him, and then what you do is you're charging this crystal with your intentions of your oil blend, which is super cool. You can also take moon water. This is moon water that I made from the last full moon of 2020. And it's been charging for the last 2 years in aquamarine, which is my birthstone. I am a March baby, and so I sometimes will give my crystals a little bit of a boost. Once I cleanse them, then I charge them. So you can put just a little bit of either oil or water. This one is, like I said, is special water. It is moon water that has been charged with aquamarine. So now my beautiful amethyst actually is also going to be charged with the moon water and all that energy and aquamarine. So your crystals love other crystals. Some of them more than others. Like for instance, shungite. This is going to be great for charging pretty much any crystal. So say this optical honey calcite real quick. Let's look at this. Look how pretty this is. So if you put your shungite with your optical honey calcite, now you are also going to be having the EMF protection while you're working on your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. And then you can also use your crystal singing bowl like I showed you earlier without the water in it as well. So you can put your bracelets in it, any of your jewelry, any of your crystals. Your tektites also love to be charged with sound. And then finally, I love to charge my crystals and tektites under a full moon without any of the eclipses. That's an important thing to mention. No eclipse full moons, because the energy isn't really all that predictable. So you're going to want to charge your crystals under a full moon that is just a full moon without any eclipses. And then also the sun. And then another way, I know we're getting into the fall equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere, and we are also, some of us are going to be experiencing snow. So you can always put your crystals in the snow in the wintertime. There's so many different ways to cleanse and charge your crystals. So I really hope that this video was helpful to you and that you learned some new tips and tricks for how to cleanse, charge, and keep your crystals and tektites super high vibrational. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and please pass on the video to your friends and subscribe to my channel so you can learn more about crystals and tektites and all things going on with your spiritual journey. All right, talk to you soon.